Round by myself, be fine by myself. I don't need.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Plucked from the Garden. Of course, I have to say welcome back to Plucked from the Garden because I have not been on camera for Plucked from the Garden for a very long time. But that does not mean that I wasn't putting things in my garden to talk to you guys about. So, my first topic is going to be about young women and breaking generational curses. And this generational curse is accepting just any old person into our lives. How did we get to the point that we accepted that, and how long will we continue to go on in that? And as I was talking to my son about it, he also says, well, it's not just the women that need to break the generational curse too, but it's the men that also need to break the generational curse for using these women, because that's just how it is. That's just how it's been working. So I started to do a post on Facebook today, and this is what brought me to do this video. But let me pull it up in my notes. Most of the time I'll start writing something and then I don't post it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna save this. Well, I'm gonna start using all those nuggets that I saved so I can give them to you guys. Alright, and then I want you to interact too. Like, this is, yeah, I'm on here, but other people are in the room. They might chime in here and there about what I'm talking about, because that's part of it. We all need each other. We all need to hear different points of view as well. So I guess not just a video, but kind of like a podcast. But it's not gonna be all fancy and set up. It's just how life is going. if we get on and decide to do something, then that's how it's gonna be. No programs. I'm not putting nothing together anymore. No, for what? So excuse me. And no, I'm not gonna stop talking. I'm gonna keep talking. Yeah. Alright, so what I said was, young women, it is time to stop settling and taking just any kind of man to cover your life. When they told me, no, he's not ready, I said, that's okay. I can change that. Deception and lies I told myself because I believed that I was good. So, he'll be good eventually. And not that he was bad. He just made different choices than I did. Okay? I put ineffective work in because, young woman, I was ineffective in my own life from the start. So, from the start of this relationship, I was already ineffective. And let me tell you more. If I didn't know who I was at 18, how could he at 19? I always wanted to be loved and accepted by people, and mostly my parents. I thought, he will love me, and that's it. Like, and I stopped there. I didn't put anything else down. I didn't type anything else down, and I did not put the post up, but I'm posting right now. And I stopped there because it hit me. I just wanted to be loved. So being that I just wanted to be loved, then the only thing that I was looking for was love. But the thing is, I'm looking for love, but what does that even look like? What does that look like? What does that feel like? Because Remember, I said I always wanted to be loved. I wanted to be accepted. You know, people like, oh, you're so pretty. Oh, thank you. I know that I'm pretty now, but guess what? I always saw myself as this ugly person. I was insecure. I didn't think I was pretty. I just knew what I could do. But later learned that effulgence blooms from within. Okay? But I stopped there because all I wanted was, I just wanted to be loved. At 18 years old, I'm not thinking about that. I need to be stable. I need to be secure with where we're living, what we're doing, what decisions you're making right now, and how those decisions can affect me. And not just affect me now, but how will those decisions later affect me in life? So I still took on the task. I'm 45 now, but at 18 years old going into something, all I knew was that, oh my gosh, he has done so much. You know, so much for me. How can I dare say no, you know, to this proposal? So with that, that's how I went through life. Just wanting love. Not really knowing what love looked like, what it felt like. You know, I didn't know what love looked like or felt like until after my divorce. And what, one relationship later. Yeah. Oh, you can turn that broccoli to 2. But yeah, but even after, you know, my divorce, I went on 2 years later into, or maybe a year or so later, I went into a relationship, and great guy. I mean, absolutely amazing guy. I mean, he set a standard, even at a very young age. He set a standard, but we went our different ways, because at that time, even though I invited someone in, even a year and a half later, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to, even though I thought, oh, well, maybe I might be ready to date or, you know, see people now. But I realized then, like, I'm not ready. And at one point, I just used to be so aggravated with him. But it wasn't necessarily him, because he was doing all the things that I had been praying for and asking for. Like, oh, I want him to be nice to me. Now we going back. I'm doubling back. You just gotta follow me, okay? Oh, I want him to be nice to me. I want him to want to spend time with me. I want him to love on me. I don't want him to be afraid to show me affection. You know, I want him to be on me. And things like that. Because, and the reason why I felt like that was because I didn't feel like you was nice to, the last person was nice to me. You know, or I didn't feel like he was loving enough or affectionate enough or whatever the case. And no, to get it straight before you decide to send any messages to say that Nicole was bashing, Nicole ain't never bashed. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get that straight right now. Matter of fact, I've never even said anything. I just let y'all have at it, okay? So Nicole is just now speaking in 2023 from 2017. I'm now opening up my mouth, okay? So don't mix my message up. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay, moving on. Pause. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, my bad. Okay, so we know that you're not gonna go and spread evil messages. Well, not any more evil messages. Anyway, okay, so I was talking about how I just wanted to be loved, you know, so I went off thinking that, oh, well, he loves me, but not having no definition of what love is. What does love look like? So sometimes we go into these situations and we make these choices not having dealt with ourselves, or even know that we need to deal with ourselves. You know, that nugget, and I'm not gonna ever call names. I'll say nugget, or I'll say the wisdom spoke. So when the wisdom spoke to me and said, not now, not now, it's not that it didn't have to ever be, but it was that I was not really ready. He was not really ready for that. And then you go into it because it's like, oh, well, he did this for me, or he did that for me, and I just can't say no. Though that right there is an insecurity in and of yourself, or in this case it was in and of myself, that I had a hard time saying no. I couldn't say no to people, especially when they were nice to me, because I just wanted somebody to be nice to me. So just the least little bit of somebody being nice to me, or showing me the least little bit of attention, then I took that as that person loved me or they cared about me. But that was not always the case. So we not just, I use my life for an example because that was my experience. That's what I experienced. But we're not just talking about a marriage. We're talking about these relationships that you just have in your life, period. And of course, the main thing, women and men, young women, young men, breaking this generational curse of accepting any and everything into their life without having learned who you are as a person. What is your position as a person here on this earthly plane? What are you doing? What do you want to do? Where are you trying to go? What are you trying to accomplish? Or are you trying to accomplish anything? You know, so people are eventually, they will show who they are and what they're doing. I mean, period. But I'm gonna let you hear from Matthew. I'm gonna let you hear from Matthew and see what his take on it was. All right. Okay.
Men as people, we basically sense weakness, even when it comes to our children, females, even other men. So if you know it's a broke female in your life and you know her situation, it only takes you just certain things just to make her feel good, literally. And you just basically just pray on her, literally. Like, what I mean by pray, basically you support her in certain ways, but then when it's time to do something what she want to do, or do something that benefits her, all of a sudden you just switch to a whole nother character. Like, you basically just using her for yourself. You praying on her, literally. You know what's gonna make her change and go back under your finger, but then when it's something that she want to do, or just change in her life, or not even changing you, it's a problem all of a sudden. And y'all just keep going back and forth, and not even going back and forth, but like, how can I say it? Yeah, basically going back and forth. But he's basically just keeping you to him, literally.
And nothing is being
accomplished. Nothing
is
being accomplished. He just wants, like you said, and even when it comes to men, they want to be loved too, literally. They also want to be loved. So shit, They know that it only takes certain things to make you. They know it only takes certain things to make you feel back to normal. So they gonna do these certain things. Like I said, prey on you. They know your weakness. They know what you expect, and they gonna do that. You gonna go back to normal, and they just gonna do it the same routine. It's just gonna be a repeat cycle. Literally, it's up to you, even female and men. It's up to you to make that change. We're not the what that card say? We're not the
I'm the mentor, not your rescuer.
Yeah, I'm the mentor, not your rescuer. Literally. Like, it's up to you to make the change. Literally, it's up to us as people to break that curse. Literally. But yeah, I hope I explained it well.
And then too, even the thing of being able to recognize that it's a curse, because I mean, even, and I'm not talking bad or saying that anybody on the other person's end, whether it's my family or anybody else, this is not, again, this is not a bashing thing. These are healing sessions, okay? So when it came down to the acceptance part, when you just want to be accepted, then you just kind of accept
anything, literally.
You know what
you just want to be loved,
what
literally.
you think it feels like,
yeah.
Or you know, especially if you haven't experienced it. So for me, I hadn't experienced. I didn't feel like I had experienced it. So
you just want a companion,
right? I just wanted to have somebody.
Just have someone. And that's the problem with us. You're not, even as man and female, we don't really take the time and see, is that good for me? Do I really want that? We just so destined to have someone, and then that's when it comes to like following the leader. Y'all will be following these fake relationships, wanting to have this whole time. Them niggas fighting at home, arguing, all type of stuff. Literally, like, man, bump that. Literally, find yourself. Find who you really want. Who you really want to be with. Like, do you see yourself being with that person 10 years later? And then, this is the real question. If you tolerate that, you don't love yourself. You spitting in your face.
Come over here.
I don't gotta show my face. Yeah, you basically spitting in your face. Literally. If you basically tolerate bullshit, I'm sorry to curse. One thing about me, I'm a realist. I don't care about these apps with all this cursing and all that. Basically,
yeah, but I don't want my video taken down.
But you basically tolerating. You basically accept people throwing poop on your face. Literally. That's how I look at it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, and it goes back to, at the end of the day, it always comes back to self.
Yeah.
Period.
That's what I'm saying. Do you really see yourself with that?
It's not even seeing yourself with that.
Or do you see yourself
with this person? Yeah. Do you see yourself?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see yourself?
Do you see yourself?
You see yourself in this situation. That's what I'm saying. Do you see yourself?
No, it's not even a situation.
Even just in life.
I know, but do you see yourself?
Yeah.
Period. Because if you don't see yourself,
yeah,
then how do you see something else? If you can't even see what's you.
Well, that means you don't need to be in a
relationship.
The
attachment. Exactly. Yeah. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. Before you start attaching yourself and just attaching yourself to any and every old thing, know thyself first. Mm-hmm. I go back to when I said I just want someone to love me. Well, guess what? I've been mistreated. Yeah. And you know why I was mistreated? Because I mistreated my own self. Because I didn't take wisdom when wisdom stood in my face, sat with me, spoke with me, tried to reason with me. Okay? And it wasn't just wisdom, it was wisdoms. There were people that came into my life. There were people that were there that had seen, already know, but we be so in our head that, oh, I'm gonna be alone. I'm not gonna have anybody. Nobody's gonna want me. Oh, I'm just gonna speak for me. I was with this person for 21 years. I've had 3 kids. I'm divorced now. Nobody's gonna want me. I'm starting to look old. I better hurry up because nobody really don't want me then. Before I start getting too old and crazy looking, I better hurry up. And all of these things, you know, and these things don't just come from we came up with that. It comes from what we've been around. It comes from the things that we've seen. So growing up, if my parents argued back and forth, and I feel like they argued a lot, and it might be because of me. It's always been said most of the arguments were because of me. Okay, well, whatever. At some point, you're going to have to take responsibility and accountability for your part.
Actions,
so, me personally, this is what I'm doing. I'm taking responsibility and accountability for my action in it. Because once I became of age, then there was no excuse to take on some of the things that I took on. I remember one time Wisdom told me, you've taken on battles that were never yours to fight.
Not necessary. Literally.
Never your battle to fight. But because I'm searching, I want to be loved. So guess what? I'm just trying to love. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me try this. Let me try that. Let me go this direction. Let me go that direction. Oh, I'm going to leave. Because if I leave, I'm going to come back though. But I'm just going to go because if I go, then that might scare him enough to make him get himself together. And then I come back. And then it's together and we're good for a little while.
Back and forth
and
games.
then
What I just say? Yeah.
Man, why you do that?
Literally.
Again. Okay, and I'm leaving up, and you know what? I wouldn't even say I was leaving. This is how it would go. Everything looks normal when you leave and go to work. Nothing looks like anybody's gonna move or anybody's going anywhere. It looks normal. But when you get back home, your house is empty, but except for the couches that were a gift to us, but really to you, you know? So what I'm saying is, when it comes down to it, and Matthew said the same thing. You just keep repeating the same stuff over and over and over. And then you realize one day, like, well, why do I keep doing this? Because it'll change for a little while, but then it goes back to the same thing all over again.
And then one thing that says people, discord. You need to learn the discord. That means being alone, literally. So you can awaken, literally. Y'all be wanting to be with me, man, be alone.
And
find yourself.
You want all these answers and
find yourself first.
Yeah, you have to find yourself
first. You is tripping.
You have to find yourself. And guess what? Sometimes you even have to push or let go of certain people.
Yeah, that's what
they good.
Yeah.
They are good for you, but you can't keep them. And the reason why you can't keep them is because somewhere you have not dealt with some things. So if you don't deal with those things, and if you're not dealing in and of yourself, then what happens is now it's a transfer. Now you go to this person and you think, oh well, I'm just moving on to the next person, never having dealt with, you know, your last situation or whatever happened before, because we talking about relationships. And this don't necessarily,
Yeah, I'm
it
about to
don't
say,
have
just
to
with
be a
relationship.
person, necessarily a person, a marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, this jobs, anything.
Yep.
You know, it's what are you willing to settle for? When I go to a job, like I told them the other day, I'm like, I'm just, I'm not with that anymore. When you tell me that I gotta do this and I gotta be here by this time, and if I'm a minute late, then you gonna write me up, and I'm coming to a place that I'm buying my time for, because I said that it was okay for you to pay me $100 an hour, because I have made $100 an hour here in Asheville. So it's okay for you to just pay me $15 an hour. And I'm here 7 days a week. I have no time to do anything else for myself. And whatever I had planned, those plans are canceled those, because this job needs you right now. And this is what you signed up for. No, I am not okay with that. So, being that I'm not okay with that,
Yeah.
then
You got to deal with relationships. Just
I
literally.
came up with something,
Do you see yeah?
a little something. You see this? 45 years old. Okay, I came up with something that y'all act like y'all be hating on, or you don't want to get my product, or because it's Nicole. But guess what? I don't care about your face. I only care about your dollar bills, baby. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm selling a service. I'm not selling myself, a friendship to you. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I am really becoming my true, authentic self. Yes, I know the other videos are like, oh, and you really have to work on, and guess what? You really have to work on this, and you really have to work on that, but bump that. It is time out for all this dumbness, this foolishness, this stupidity, this ignorance, hooliganism. Whatever Matt calls it. Like, it's time out for that. It's time for you to stand up for yourself, stand in your power, and stop letting people pray. Which one are you?
Are you a sheep or you a wolf? Literally, it's
And it
a
is
simple term, but it ain't nothing wrong being a sheep, but knowing when to be a wolf.
Exactly.
Knowing when to be a wolf.
Nothing wrong with being a sheep, but you gotta know when it's time to be the wolf too, because in this world, at some point, you gotta be the wolf.
Literally. If you don't, you're gonna be that sheep.
You know, or you gonna be the sheep that's eating, gone. No more.
Just seasoning you until they're ready to strike.
So, but that's what I have. I don't want to keep you guys long. You are welcome to comment, like, subscribe, share. You are not allowed to gossip. I'm going to go ahead and seal this. I'm going to go ahead and seal it. I'm going to start sealing my stuff, okay? Because I just have so many of these blue eyes on me. I have so many of them. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and seal this video. And if this video is used to gossip, to talk about, to make up stories, hush, and say Nicole said this or Nicole said that, guess what? You can say what you want to say, but with this seal that's on here, I would advise you not to do that. Okay? Don't do it. Please don't do it. All right? Because it's not going to be good if you take my good, because my good has been drugged through the mud. So you can no longer take my good and turn it around and make me out to be bad anymore. Because I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to start saying it. You wanted me to be quiet.